Welcome, esteemed listeners, to Soulful Insight, a platform dedicated to revealing profound truths and astonishing insights aimed at enriching and nourishing your soul. Your host, Gigi Gina. Welcome to Soulful Insight Podcast. Yours truly, Gigi Gina. I am so excited about this crucial topic. It is a two-part topic, so I'm not going to hold you up. We're going to dive right on into the topic. It is basically almost a three-part topic. We're going to go through it. I really need you guys to understand, like I said before, these topics that I'm going to be giving to you guys are crucial topics that no one wants to talk about, that we keep hidden. It is a subject that we do not want to address. We do not even want to bring it up. But unfortunately here at Soulful Insight Podcast, I'm going to be discovering and giving you these topics, and we're going to help you heal. We're going to help you move forward and progressing into a good and prosperous life, getting out of toxic relationships and moving forward into positive ones that can help build you, the ones that can also help strengthen you, not the ones that's going to tear you down and keep you limbo or keep you in the same status and not seeing you improve. We definitely here at Soulful Insight talk about these topics, and we're going to get right into the actual topic for today, which is the echoes of absence. It is based on the shadows of separation. You say, well, Gigi, why did you pick that topic? I picked this topic because this is talking, I know a lot of you may have saw the flyer for it, thinking it was going to be about a man and a woman and their relationship. It's but it's more of the abandonment relationship between a mother or a father, a child growing up throughout life without one or the other or neither parent. And how is it now affecting their adult life? And what are the things you need to do to help improve? What are the things you need to look at as a pattern? Is this a generational curse? So I'm not going to hold you up. We're going to go ahead and get right on into this subject, the impact of a father's abandonment on female children. And then we're going to talk about the actual male perspective, how the impact of a mother's abandonment on a male child. And then we're going to talk more on how the abandonment of both parents, how it affects the relationship in a child, as well as when they become an adult. So like I said, this is a subject, people, that you're not ready for, but you're tuning in to Soulful Insight and to get ready to start. I'm going to give you a moment to get your wine, get your comfy pillow, your blankie, get your favorite snacks, and let's start truly diving into this crucial topic and help pulling off those layers that we have been carrying for so long, because now it's time to heal. It's time to move forward. It's time to let the stress and the anxiety go. So I'm not going to hold you up. Let's go ahead and get right into our part one of our topic. It is basically the impact of father's abandonment on female children. Now, a father's abandonment can leave a significant and lasting impact on a female child's emotion and psychological development. When a father is absent, whether it's physically or emotionally, the daughter may struggle with deep sense of loss or abandonment. This can manifest in various ways, including low self-esteem, difficulty trusting others, and an overwhelming fear of rejection. The father-daughter relationship is often seen as a foundational one shape how a woman views herself and her place in the world. Positive male role model, she may find it challenging to form healthy relationships with men later in life. The absence can lead to an increase of likelihood of seeking validation and love in a relationship, sometimes resulting in an unhealthy or even abusive partner. Now, I know you say, well, Gigi, why do you pick this topic? because I am one of those children. I know what it feels like to be abandoned. I know what it feels like to have abandonment issues. And now here I am in my adult life and the type of relationships that I've had to deal with. And now I have a daughter, and I thank God for her father because he's in her life every day. So there's not a moment he has not missed out on. Appreciate that. As little girls grows into women, the scars of abandonment can influence their adult relationships profoundly. Trust issues are common as the fear of being abandoned again becomes very large. The fear can cause them to either be clingy too tightly in a relationship, or they may avoid intimacy altogether to protect themselves from potential hurt. Additionally, the lack of a father presence might contribute to the incomplete understanding of what a healthy relationship looks like, making it difficult to establish boundaries and exceptions. Now, like I said, this is a crucial topic for any woman that has dealt with abandonment issues for years or don't even know that's what it is. They just know that they're going from one bad relationship to another bad relationship, or it's just something's not clicking. It's just, they don't, when it comes to the intimacy part, don't touch me. How about this? We'll just stay friends. You guys, this is real. Abandonment issues is probably the number one reason why relationships are not lasting long. And you say, why abandonment is? No, it could be this, it could be that, but you don't understand. If a young boy or girl, if they grow up lacking one or the other or both parents, when they become an adult, it's a dynamic for failure type effect. Because why? Whoever's raising them don't know anything about abandonment issues. They go from being a little child to a teenager. Now they're in their adults. They're a young adult. Then about the time they hit 30, the red light comes on that, no, you know what? It's the issue if the abandoned parent has not really sat down with this adult child. And the reason why I'm saying adult child, because it is still something in this adult that is yearning for that absentee mother or the absentee father love. And they can't be the adult that they need to be because they were never groomed right in dealing with their abandonment issues at a younger age. And adults now that has had a parent that was abandoned when there was a child probably have trickled on to them to where they avoid the lack of getting close to their children. Me, I'm different. I'm clingy to my children. I show them love. I show them the passion, the nurturing. I don't care how high or how low I have to go for my children. So it can trickle down to you affecting your own children for the ones that have been abandoned and grew up in that lifestyle. You say, well, okay, I'm a female. I had abandonment issues, but I'm fine. No. No, you're not. You're not fine. You think you're fine. But we're going to get into why you think you're fine. We're going to get into why I say you're not. Because a woman that has lacked the abandonment of a father searches for a father figure in her adult relationships. That's why I say you're not fine. You're not okay. You're not okay. Because a woman who experienced the absence of a father figure in her childhood may indeed seek out the sense of stability, protection, guidance in her adult relationship. This is a common psychological pattern that's often rooted in a deep-seated longing for unconditional love and support. I'm one of those people. I have yearned for the love, to feel what true unconditional love is. And most of us women only gets it from our children. Sadly, sometimes us women, by us being abandoned by our father, we have unhealthy relationship dynamics, difficulty trusting people. We go through the idolization. And with the unhealthy relationship dynamics, it can sometimes lead to an unhealthy or codependent relationship. We as women might prioritize the man's need over our own. So she might see the male as a paternalistic figure who is now being overly controlling. Now, the difficulty in trusting, a woman might find challenges in trusting her male partners, feeling abandonment or betrayal. Ladies, how many times you have a good man, you're in a relationship, have a good man, but you, in the back of your mind, he's sneaky, he doing something. I don't trust him. You calling them all day long. What you doing? You coming straight home when you leave work? Trusting issues. You going out, keep your phone on. Or while you out, you calling him just to see who in the background, where he at. You have trust issues. Then the next one, idolizing. You idolize them because you're into projecting qualities of your ideal father. You were young. He left you probably when you were 2, 3. So in your mind over the years as growing up as an adolescent, you've pictured this perfect father. Or you watched a lot of Disney movies. How many of y'all watched Disney movies and you saw how the father was treating the daughter? Or yeah, okay, I was one of them. Yeah. And you sat back and said, I wish my dad was like that. Or I want my dad to be like this. Or you picture him, if he's tall, handsome, your father is the type that, you wish would hold you, and when you cry, give you those words of wisdom, teach you how to ride a bike, teach you what to look out when you're a teenager, when the boys starting to talk to you. A father that had money. So you picture in your own mind, because he wasn't there. This is the type person that you wish, if you met, this is who you want this father to be. Now, if you've met your father and he is nothing like you imagine over the years, boy, it is a true wake-up call. You could get a father that is just as toxic and you wish you never met him. Or you have that father. You finally met the father, or he's always been there, but because he abandoned you a child, you just kind of pushed him away. But now that you're older, you want to, you've had a child and now you're trying to mend that broken path. You're doing everything that you possibly can. He is the ideal father that you dreamed of. He shows you love and support. You call him and y'all can talk for hours. He makes you laugh. He gives you those words of affirmation from a male point of view. He's sewing into you mentally, physically, emotionally. So you say, Gigi, I can relate a little bit. I understand. So you have to think of that when you're in these type of relationships, you have to be careful, not for them, but for you. You have to be careful. Now, you say, well, you told us about the relationship types. Well, I just, if I see a guy, shoot, I think he cute and I want to talk to him. I don't be out there looking and all that. Yeah, but your mind is already set, because when you were a child, you've already visioned and mapped out in your head what type of man you want. And if that abandoned father was not in your life, what has happened, you have looked at what was either on TV, or if you had another male figure. Now, I'm not knocking the women that has had the stepdads that came in their life and treated them like a true queen. I'm not talking about those. Because even though you've had that, and you say, well, Gigi, I had a father that was in my life. My mom remarried, and he's the perfect father. I don't need nothing from my real dad. But technically you do. You do. And so what you tend to do is when you're idolizing in your head this perfect father, and he's not what you thought, he's more of on a toxic level. What happens is that our character as a woman will likely subconsciously seek out a man who exhibits the parental qualities of her father. I'm not talking about the stepfather. I'm talking about the birth father. And I'm not knocking no one because, like I said, I'm one of those children. And so what happened when you do that, these type men might offer a sense of security, protection, and guidance that you has craved for as a child. For instance, the father figures may be a protector in your relationship. He's strong. He has that figure of where he can handle any situation. Now, this type of man would be normally an older man in his position of power or those with the military background. You know how when we're in our 20s and we dating a guy that's in our 30s, or we're in our 30s dating a guy that's in our 50s. Yeah. Now, you may be in a relationship with a mentor. Now, that's the one that's very intellectual. And those are the experienced men, that can offer wisdom and guidance. Now, those type men normally are professors, therapists, and successful businessmen. Now, you may have been in a relationship with a provider. Now, those type men are the ones who are financially stable and can offer you a sense of security. Now, again, this one could be an older, one that's more established type man, or someone that has a high-paying profession, job. And 9 out of 10, those are the ones that most women in this type issue look for. The provider. I want a man that's stable. I want a man that can give me that security. I want a man that has a good job. Now, he can turn on you now. And the reason why I'm saying that, because you may be looking for these type men because of your abandonment issues, and then it will flip on you to where now you starting to pick up these unhealthy men. Yes, I said unhealthy men. And now you're in an unhealthy relationship because of what you're attracting. Now you're attracted to that unavailable man. Yeah. The one that is emotionally distant or already committed in another relationship, but he's mirroring the absence of your father. That's the unavailable man. That's the one that you say, I don't care, he got somebody else. As long as he giving me this and this and this and that and this and that. Or he could be committed. I don't even want no connection as long as he paying this. Or you like that he's distant. Y'all in a relationship, but he's way over in a whole nother city, state. You don't care because you like your space. That's a comfort fit for you. Then we get the child like that mind man. Yeah, I said it just like that. Yeah, you heard me say it just like that. Yeah. The child man. The one that is immature and constantly depends on you. And now you thinking you're in a relationship. Now you have become the caregiving role. Yeah, that one. The one that always gets on your nerve. You be like, oh, wow, he just won't grow up. Or the one that you constantly saying, you know what? Oh, he can't. I give him stuff to do. He can't do nothing. Or he want to play on them little Xboxes and PlayStation all day long. You done been to work. He ain't been nowhere, but he got your car while you at work, hanging out with the friends. Or we always say, I gave you one thing to do and you can't even do it. Yeah, that's that child man. Basically, he come to you, hey, I need some clothes. Hey, can you pay the bill? And say, can you do this for me? That's that caregiving role. And then, dun, 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 you have now attracted the abusive man. That man in that relationship is the most dangerous relationship you can be in. Because that relationship reflects the power of imbalance that she has experienced growing up. Can I be real with y'all for a minute? I'm be so real, so raw. In my past relationships, I had attracted abusive men. 3 in a row. Back to back to back. Because why? Yeah, it was nothing wrong with me. It's because what I experienced growing up, seeing when my father would come around with his new wife, I would see him beat on them. I've seen women in my family get beat on. Women that was like my own mother, I've seen stood there at a young age and watched my mother get beat on while she was pregnant. It had nothing to do with me. But because of the imbalance that I experienced growing up, that's how I attracted abusive men. I'm going to let that sink for y'all for a minute. Now, on the other hand, you'll find yourself subconsciously or sabotaging relationships to avoid intimacy. And you're like, what? Yeah. It might point to a fear of being vulnerable. And you say, well, where would this come from? It would stem from your past relationships of abandonment, betrayal, or emotionally being neglected. And so you have created barriers, or you always finding fault in your partner so that you can always protect yourself from the potential plan of getting too close and then losing that connection. Your behavior that basically will lead you to a cycle of unfulfilling relationships, which is causing you then to reinforce your fears and then prevent you from experiencing genuine intimacy. You say, what? How? Well, by you being vulnerable, you may be vulnerable to manipulation, or you're controlling due to the longing of your father figure. Then you may start to, despite that challenge, you may also start exhibiting your strength and your independence. I don't need no man. I'm independent. I can take care of this. I don't need him. Or you telling him what you can do for me. You can't do nothing. I do it all. I don't need you. Wasn't that Boosie? INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? I got my own car. Yeah. Then, this is the one you may do because of that type behavior, sabotaging your relationships. You may end up moving from one relationship to another. And what I mean, you're moving between seeking a father figure and then wanting one that, oh, we just friends type relationship. You're juggling two at the same time. One over here is like the father figure you think. Then the other one, you like, because of your fear, you want to keep this one, but at the same time, I want to keep him. I don't want to let him go, but I'm finna go get a friend. So I can say, he's just my friend. And then you have all these issues because you're sabotaging and you're doing things. Then what happens with your character, it becomes an emotional landscape that could be complex. Now, because of all this, now you have your feelings, you're feeling angry, you're feeling sad, you're feeling lonely, and then you don't want to exist in life. Now, I believe in generational curses. I don't know if nobody else do, but I believe stuff that happens to your mother, to your mother's mother, will trickle down to you, and it's your choice if you're going to stop it or let it continue on down to your kids. I'm a prime example. My mother grew up with not having neither one of her parents in her life. did not have her father, a mother, come and go. I am a prime example of that. I didn't have neither one of my parents in my life growing up. Do you think I will allow that to happen to my daughter? Absolutely not. Because that generational curse, I'm a spiritual person, so I've prayed about it. Was a product of it. And so having generational curses basically is going through the trauma and the behavior of one generation negatively affect the current generation. Abandonment issues, if it is unresolved, can indeed contribute to patterns that might be perceived as a generational curse. Now, us as women that have experienced abandonment, whether it was physical, emotional, or psychological, you may develop dysfunctional coping mechanisms. And I don't like to say dysfunction, but it is what it is. Such as trust issues, the fear of intimacy, or the difficulties in forming healthy relationships. These behaviors and emotional patterns can be inadvertently passed down to the next generation. So that's why I said, ladies, we got to be careful. We got to cut it out. Prime example, parent who struggles with abandonment issues may overcompensate by being overly protective, emotionally distant, which can create a similar sense of instability in their children. I can say I'm one of those parents. I'm very overprotective of my children. Very overprotective over my children. Now, these children, in turn, may develop their own set of emotional challenges, perpetrating a cycle of emotional distress and relationship difficulties, a cyclical nature of unresolved traumas, abnormal behaviors, and can give the impression of a curse that spans generation after generation after generation. We have to break this cycle. Basically, it's going to require a profession intervention, which is seeking spiritual counseling or seeking particularly a family therapist, because this will be instrumental in addressing and healing the deep-seated issues. Now, you have to understand the root cause of these behaviors, and you have to work hard to develop a healthier coping mechanism that can help individual interrupt the transmission of these harmful patterns to the future generation. So therefore, while abandonment issues can indeed seem to create a generational curse, with the effort and the support, it is possible to break free from this cycle and foster a healthier emotional legacy. Now, this is my time. I want you to keep your pad and your pencil right there by you. And if you are a woman that has, by listening to all the characteristics and telling you about the different men, the different styles of relationship, if you are one of those women, I want you to write down. If you see a pattern that you have now created in your children, I need you to start writing down what you want to avoid, what you want to better. Then that's the number one step in your healing process. And then I want you to put your pen down, because I don't want you to write no more until we continue on part 2 on Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time, which is 8 Eastern. Because like I said, we have a lot to cover, and we're going to be pulling these layers off. And I don't want no one to feel that there is not a topic or an issue that you are going through and no one is not willing to talk about it. Because why? Your girl Gigi at Soulful Insight Podcast, she going to talk about it. And she going to get down and dirty with it, but respectfully. So tune in on Monday, same time, same place, for part 2 of Echoes of Absence, the Shadows of Separation. Fellas, yes, fellas, I'm coming for you. So we're going to be talking about you next. And then on Monday, we will conclude about talking about a child, boy or a girl, that has grown up being abandoned by both parents. Stay tuned. I love you all. I thank you for all the listeners tuning in, and I will see you on Monday. Take care.